My name is Nada and I'm going to talk about Singapore's political environment. To begin, I'm going to have an introduction to Singapore's political system, the types of government, similarities between Singapore's and Canada's political systems, overall rankings, Figure 1.1 of a corruption ranking, Figure 1.2 of a ranking of political infrastructure and policy-making procedures. To introduce Singapore's political system, the most important thing to understand are the people in power and their roles. Prior to 1991, the president was the head of state appointed by Parliament, but due to the constitutional changes in 1991, the president is now directly appointed to office for 6 years by popular vote. The current president of Singapore is Tony Tan Keng Yam. He's not a member of any political parties and has held office for a period of not less than 3 years. Under the president, Singapore has a prime minister named Lee Hsien Loong, who is the third and current prime minister of Singapore and is the eldest son of Singapore's first prime minister. He has done some interesting things in order to improve Singapore, such as introducing the 5-day working week for civil servants with the hope of increasing birth rate. The Prime Minister is appointed by the President to help the decision-making process as well as to help deal with minor issues the country faces. Then there is the Deputy Prime Minister, Teo Chin Hin and Tharman Shanmugaratnam, whose role is the second highest post and minister's senior cabinet in Singapore. Singapore has a unique system because it's not very common to have a president and prime minister in one country, and it helps them make more informed decisions due to the fact that there are two strong opinions to consider. This has proven to really benefit Singapore. Now to talk about the types of government. Singapore's government is a unitary state, constitutional republic, and parliamentary republic. You might be wondering what exactly all these terms mean. A unitary state is governed as one single unit, is supreme, and administrative divisions exercise only powers that their central government chooses to delegate. A country who is the best example of a unitary state is the United Kingdom. A constitutional republic is a set of fundamental principles to which a state or organization is governed, which is most countries including Canada. Last, a parliamentary republic is a type of republic that operates under a parliamentary system of government. Some countries that are known for having this is Germany, Italy, and Switzerland. During the last couple of years, there have been many changes in Singapore's governing styles. It has all changed for the better. It has become more like the United Kingdom, and political leaders have used the United Kingdom system as a guideline of how they want their country to be ran. Taking in consideration Canada's political system, there are many similarities between it and the new improved Singapore. They are learning to be more democratic and giving citizens more say in the decisions being made. How are Canada and Singapore's political systems similar? Before the change in their government, one could easily say that the political systems were completely opposite, but after major changes were made, some similarities began to appear. Both countries have prime ministers, although Singapore has a president as well. The roles of prime ministers in both countries are extremely similar. Canada has established democratic systems and Singapore is working towards one. They both are based on an English common law. The ranking of a country's political system is very important to future investors. It fully explains the country's political ratings in the perspective of every country. When looking at Singapore's ranking, it becomes clear that they have drastically moved up over the years. On the 14th of September 2008, Political and Economic Risk Consultancy survey reported Hong Kong and Singapore to have the best judicial systems in Asia. Singapore has a very good reputation amongst the countries in Asia and has had a reputation for fairness and impartiality in commercial law. It was also ranked the country with the least corrupt public sector. Political corruption is the use of power by government officials for illegitimate private gain. This is very common amongst Asian countries, and Singapore has worked very hard in order to limit this and is trying to completely extinguish it from their political systems. They have really improved people's viewpoints on their political system and continuously try to maintain these standards. This ranking is the IMD World Competitive Yearbook in 2011. in 2011. Singapore is the least corrupt country in the region where transparency is valued highly due to clear and strict laws and legislation imposed by the government over business dealings and transactions. Figure 1.2 is the IMD's World Competitiveness Yearbook in 2011, and it recognizes Singapore as a country with sound political infrastructure and policy-making procedures, leading to its ranking as the most transparent country in Asia that enjoys a stable business environment. This chart here is very important to future investors, and it shows how high Singapore is moving up in the rankings. So why invest in Singapore? There are many different reasons to invest in Singapore, but when looking at the political aspect of it specifically, they're constantly trying to improve their political system. They have high rankings within Asia, and they're working towards similar democratic government as Canada. They're really trying to improve their reputation and doing a very good job of this according to the ranking charts I have shown you in previous slides. Investing in Singapore will be a smart decision, especially when looking at the political aspect of things.